Hey everybody, it's Christina Holloway here, and today we're going to talk about how to establish influence and create a power network. So I have been working with a number of people who've explained to me that they have ambitions for getting promoted or getting a new job, and the one thing that could be holding them back is they don't know the right people. So today we're going to talk about a 5-part process that can help you get in front of decision makers and help you establish the influence you need so that you can start working on better projects, getting considered for bigger roles, and potentially just getting promoted and getting a raise and getting a new title. Okay, so let's get started. Number 1, create an influence chart. Now, this is similar to influence mapping. I will provide a link down below for a description on influence mapping, but this is a common project management term that you would use in order to figure out who has the most influence during projects and how that influence affects other groups that are involved in the project. So by creating an influence chart, though, for yourself, you're actually looking at who do you know and how much influence would each one of those people have in your career development. And here's why it's important. You want to make sure that you're working with people who see you doing great work and will advocate for you when it comes to doing bigger, more important projects, or when it comes to spontaneously open job positions. Hey, you know who would be great for that? That person would be wonderful. We've been working with her and we've seen her do great work. This is how positions do get filled many times. This is an additional layer that can help you if it comes down to 2 people with the exact same experience, which just happened to a new client of mine who said the same thing to me. I was equally qualified as the rest, and when I asked why I didn't get the job, they said stakeholders were really advocating for that other person. It's important. So an influence chart is going to show you, where do I sit in the organization? Who am I working with currently, and who do I need to know in order to position myself strongly for bigger work if that's my goal? Number 2, identify the power players. You want to create a power base, a group of people that you know are going to be decision makers and influential in your career development. Now, they could be people that you work directly for. They could be people that you have direct experience with in terms of projects, like peripheral or satellite people. And they also could just be people that you have a strong relationship and network with. People that you don't have to work with, but you just happen to have gotten in front of them. You've shared some really quality information and they just happen to like you. Those are good people to have in your corner. So once you've created your chart, you're now looking at who's going to be the most important person you need to get in front of. Number 3, establish those relationships. If you find that you have people on your chart that you don't know very well, but you can see that they're going to be important in making sure you either get on powerful projects or important projects, or that they can see you doing great work and can advocate for you, you now need to figure out how you're going to get in front of those people and establish a strong connection. This is about doing outreach. This is about asking if someone can introduce you. This is about volunteering to work on some of their projects just so they can get a sense for who you are. Any kind of outreach or way that you can just get in front of them and say, here's my name. And oh, by the way, I was reading this article and thought you might find it valuable. Maybe you have 10 minutes to get on a call with me. I'd love to get your advice on this space. I did this one time. I did have a boss who was 2 levels above me, and I was just not sure if I was going to stay in the same position. And I asked him, can you just take some time to talk to me about my career path? And at the end of the day, he volunteered to stay with me, and we talked for over an hour, and he spent time talking to me. And at the end, I told him, this is what I'm thinking. And he told me, you go this way, not that way. He gave me advice. So have a very specific idea of why you're reaching out to these people, and be very courteous and kind of, this is why I think your advice would be helpful to me. And then be very clear when you sit down and talk to them. This is what I'm thinking. What is your perception, or what is your advice, or what do you suggest I start doing in order to move forward in this space? People love to be valued. So if you can get in front of an influencer, somebody that you know is going to be important to your career progress, and you tell them, look, I have a lot to learn and gain from you, it is going to make an impression, and they are going to appreciate that you want to align with the way they're working. Number 4, create a plan. Now, you may have a number of people that you need to get in front of. So you want to have a plan for how you're going to do outreach. Of course, in this previous example, establishing a connection had to do with seeing if you could get in front of them, sharing some information. Now that's establishing the relationship. Having a plan, though, is looking at your influence chart and saying, how am I going to nurture these relationships, right? So my plan is I'd like to get on projects in this space for the first quarter. I'd like to get in projects in this space for the second quarter. I'm going to circle back with my boss and see how many of my wins are actually counting toward the work I'm doing. And then I'm going to regroup. And for the third quarter, I'm going to reach out and try to get on these other projects. Or if an opportunity comes up, I'm going to volunteer for a really high stakes project, and I'm going to start spreading myself around so more people can see the work I'm doing. If you stay in a silo, which means you're only working in your department with the same people over and over again, you're really only counting on those select few people to advocate for you. And not everyone will, mostly because they all have their own agenda that they're working toward. It's not as common for people to undermine you on purpose. It happens. However, you can escape some of that if you have more connections and you are just involved with more people. It reduces the chance that a few bad eggs could hold you back. Also, you could end up with a boss who says, you're doing such great work here, we just can't imagine you leaving and going somewhere else. Completely toxic and a huge red flag. Do not get in that situation. If you're doing great work and you have a boss who says, I don't see anywhere else for you, plus you're doing such great work, I wouldn't want you to leave. Start looking for an influence chart and figure out where else you can get visibility, because that will hold you back. And number 5, make it an ongoing process. Once you figure out a plan of how to do outreach, how to get in front of new projects, how to get stakeholders to really see how you're doing great work, and you start collecting all of that feedback and all of those wins, continue doing it. Start all over again. Get in front of new people, get in front of higher levels, start showing people how you're doing work. And I just created a video on, are you a fixer or a problem solver? Position yourself. I'm including a link to that video, but position yourself as a problem solver. How are you creating unique, innovative solutions to problems that people are just frustrated with? Your plan should include how you're getting out there, showing how your unique strengths are contributing to the bigger picture, which is the success of the company, the success of the department, the success of the team, and then telling them, I have so much more to offer. Wait until you see what else I have to offer, right? All right, so that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, click the like button. If you like this content, click the follow button and the notification bell. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.